We're going to solve for unknown angles in different quadrants. So we've been given this question here. It says to solve, that should say for, sorry, the unknown angle, the unknown x, which is an angle, there's a hint there, for the equation cosecant x equals 1.5 in quadrant 4. All right, so first we have our reciprocal trig identities, and very quickly we can tell what is cosecant equal. You might have a calculator that will do this right away. The one I have, I don't believe it do. So I'm going to convert this. If you take a look at cosecant, it's also equal to 1 over sine x. So I can change this equation a little. I'll write out the original. So cosecant x is equal to 1.5. Okay, that's a 5, not an s. Which means I can now replace cosecant x with 1 over sine x. Sine x is something I'm a little more familiar with using. And again, I just need to isolate for x here. So think of this like it's a term on the bottom, and because there's a division sign here, I can move this term to the other side by multiplying by that exact term, sine x. Really what's happening is we're multiplying both sides by sine x, and these are canceling out or creating a 1. For all intents and purposes, on the left side of the equation, we're left with 1 is equal to 1.5 multiplied by sine x. Well, again, we're trying to isolate for x, so we don't want the 1.5 on the right side of the equation. So since it is multiplication here, opposite of what we did before, we're going to then divide by 1.5 on the other side of the equation. So we'll now have 1 divided by 1.5 is equal to sine x. Great. Let's calculate what 1 divided by 1.5 is. So we have our scientific calculator here. 1 divided by 1.5 is, that's 15. It's okay. Same number, different decimal place. Approximately 0.666 repeated. So we're going to round a little. We're going to have 0.667, let's say, is equal to sine x. But we need to isolate for just x. So to move sine to the other side, we do the negative reciprocal here. So if we take a look at it, when it goes to the other side, it becomes sine to the power of -1, or the inverse of sine here, 0.667. This is essentially how we isolate our angles. When you go to put that into the calculator, it's usually considered, if you have sine like I do here, you probably have to put it into second function. How do I do that on this calculator? It's good. Learning experience for all of us. Functions. There we go. Sine inverse. Great. Sine inverse of I want my answer from above. Can I switch them back? Oh, main. There we go. Great. I can get my answer from above. Excellent. And we're in degrees, as you can see here. I'm glad I learned how to use that calculator on the fly. 41.8. So x is equal to 41.8 degrees. Wonderful, except for one little problem. The question, if you recall, asked us for quadrant 4. Well, quadrant 4, we'll draw a brief diagram here. We're talking about 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, quadrant 4, 41.8, right, actually only exists in quadrant 1. So because that's quadrant 1, and the question asks for quadrant 4 down here, we'll quickly denote from 0 to 90 is quadrant 1, from 90 to 180 is quadrant 2, from 180 to 270 is quadrant 3, and from 270 to 360 is quadrant 4. So we need to find that angle in quadrant 4 here. We also have to figure out, due to our CAST system, if you call C-A-S-T, whether this answer is going to be a positive answer in this quadrant. Recall that cosecant is the inverse of sine, and sine is only positive in quadrants 1 and 2. So in quadrant 4, we're going to have a negative angle. It's going to be a negative answer here. And on top of that, we need to take that angle. So I'm going to draw this diagram one more time, a little larger. I'm going to focus on quadrant 4 here. We need to take this angle from the horizontal line, think of it like the x-axis, and we're going to create an angle that is 41.8 degrees. Kind of looks like an angle of depression right now. And we're going to create a right angle triangle. Okay? So when we do that, I'm so sorry. I'm way off there. I'm not sure why I decided to start going to the trig. That is not what we're doing here. This is far simpler than I just did. All we have to do, since we're at 360 degrees, we're on the right idea of the angle of depression here. We're going back 41.8 degrees. So this is 360 degrees. And if we go back 41.8 degrees, well, we just take 360 and subtract by 41.8. Give us an exact answer. We'll go over our scientific calculator again. 360 minus 41.8. There we go. 318.2. So this would be 318 degrees from where we would start all the way around here. This would be 318.2 degrees. Don't worry about what I said on the cast system and having negative answers. That had to do with working with triangles and trig. We actually only wanted I believe it said the angle. I'm going to reread this question. Solve for the unknown angle. Yeah, the angle that takes us into quadrant 4 would be 318. There we go.